Good morning. Like most people, I've so far managed to escape the infection of COVID-19, as far as I know, as far as anyone knows. But that's the thing, isn't it? It's impossible to know until any symptoms show. So it is just common sense for me and for all of us to keep the recommended social distance when we're out. And for some more seriously compromised, it means total self-isolation. Social distance means not being able to touch or hug our daughter and her family when they came home from Australia last week, after 14 years away. It meant meeting them in the car park of Dublin Airport, talking at a distance. It meant finding creative ways to get them to the place where they had bought a car some weeks ago without being in the same vehicle with them. It meant waving goodbye as they headed up to Cavan to restricted movements for 2 weeks. Social isolation is my younger brother Fergus in Dorset, spending the next 3 months in a caravan on his property because he has the lung problem COPD. For him, it means talking at a distance to his family as they sit on a terrace. It means his wife and daughters bringing supplies and leaving them outside the caravan. His youngest daughter brought 2 bottles of wine yesterday, wearing marigold gloves and having wiped the bottles down with sanitizer. Here in Kilcullen we can still walk through the town, maintaining the recommended social distance. I can still go out to walk, keeping my distance. Over the weekend I was glad to see how disciplined people were as they waited in well-separated lines to enter shops. On a bike ride yesterday I was glad to see nobody congregating anywhere locally, keeping to the advice. It may be, as the Taoiseach warned, that at some point people of my age will be required to stay completely at home. It's possible that we may have to emulate Italy, France, Spain, and go into complete lockdown as a nation. Certainly we will if, as a nation, we don't go by the advice from people who know only too well what they're talking about. Certainly we will if the behaviours elsewhere over the past weekend continue. In the meantime, though, thank you to everybody who's doing their best, to the essential shops and their staffs who are staying open in difficult circumstances, to the businesses who have closed temporarily for the sake of their staffs and customers, to those who have volunteered in the various groups to help out should things suddenly go critical, and to those in our healthcare and caring services who are working in the critical firing line. This should all make people like me gloomy, but I'm an optimist, always have been. So, as such, I know we'll get through this together. Stay well.